Now arriving at Lijiang Tower. Welcome to China, agents.
Sniper, be wary.
Traveling to Dorado. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Yeah, this one, yeah, plays a lot of Anna. Do you? There we go. Anna's fine.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
Yeah. What's it called?
Zenyatta.
That's the one.
Party time!
Yeah,
Need some fireworks?
Heal up.
I want to know what the America's been up to.
Perfect!
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Stick together. We will complete our mission.
Amelie.
5, 4, 3,
Got Marissa.
1. Attack commencing. Escort the payload.
She ran away.
I shall seize the payload safely to its destination.
This bomb's enemy turret over there!
The payload and I move as one.
Gotcha.
Perfect!
Enemy turret here. Enemy turret destroyed.
Still there.
Walk it off.
You're lost, man! All in one!
Payload on the move.
Oh, that's a fine. How do you do?
The enemy possesses a teleporter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's hurt.
Pignata.
أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Piece of junk. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
The back chair.
Better.
Oh, just who's here?
She has Discord, so yes.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Guys, kill her.
Healed on the move. Get healed.
Thank
Killed
you.
her.
Good work. Oh shit. Not bad. I had the wrong numbers.
Sorry, guys.
But you know, it's fine. Do you wanna visit? Do you wanna nano?
This one's for you. We don't have all day. Where's the payload?
Ryan wants nano boost. Never mind, he said no,
Holy.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Oh, just leave this here.
That was awesome.
Frozen. Frozen. Oh.
Fire in the hole.
My ultimate is charging.
Good.
Come on, kill him.
Oh my god! How is he alive? There we go.
Back for more.
Heal up.
We're trying to.
Get healed.
I think you win. Boosters engaged.
We're out of time.
Need
Everyone
healing.
attack now.
We don't have much time.
Here comes K-Racer.
Bailing out.
Into the iris.
Payload.
Oh no, sorry guys. I died.
Score 1-0. Switching
Only got
sides.
one person.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
We need another healer, guys.
Just saying, maintain that.
Good, good. Anna, did you even use nano boost?
There's something another rhyme was
Alright, game face on. Walk it off. Bunny hop.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds. Your support has arrived. Look after yourself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill up here first and then move over here, Anna. If that's good with you. I want to start here, so I don't pick you up.
4, 3, 2,
Can I get damage?
1. Attackers incoming.
Damage me.
Stop the payload.
I don't know. What are they doing?
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, what is that?
Ejecting. Here comes T-Racer.
What was that? That was unexpected.
That was so funny. Yeah, I was-
Fully
where the fuck are
operational.
they? And then they all just.
Help.
Good work. We got both our healers, guys. We got this. Hold it here. Hold it here. Point, point, point.
Suiting up.
Payload has reached the checkpoint.
I'm back in the fight. Target eliminated. Ejecting. Diva re-engaging.
My ultimate is charging. My ultimate is charging. My ultimate is charging. My ultimate is charging. My ultimate is charging.
You guys trying.
Ryan got his ult.
Another.
My ultimate is almost ready.
That dude.
Now, where were
Thanks for the heal, son. I got you.
Walks
You guys got
among
this. You guys got this. There's only 2 of them. 3, I guess. Hold on to it, please. Point, point, point. Stay on. Nice, Ryan. Where's
Death comes.
okay. They're Zen and Shaft.
Thank you.
From the shadows.
got my ult. Just stall. Get on and stall.
My ultimate is ready.
Its destination.
Guys,
Sorry.
point.
I couldn't.
The grave cannot hold me.
This will help.
I'm on. I'm getting on. Getting on.
From the shadows.
I can't. I got it. Coming. Wait.
Dude, can I get you? Nope. Okay. Ryan, get on. Ryan, get on. Use any ult you have? Okay.
Defeat.
Sorry, guys.
Play of the game. Triple kill. Quadruple kill. Arriving at Watchpoint Gibraltar. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
Overwatch the shutdown for a week.
Let's make this work. I'm on a roll today. Don't let me down.
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
So we are single heals. I repeat, we're single heals.
30 seconds.
I remember being toasted here. It is good for my tan.
At least they'll run, right?
5, 4,
Now we're
3,
talking.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Reaper, runs yeah, I'm going about this over.
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
Wow, where are you taking?
Soldier 76 reporting for duty.
Dude, how did you get knocked out by Lucio? It's on top. Alright, there's
Back for more.
switch off and go back to the hill. Because we get a little bit of Vera's down. I'm down.
If at first you don't succeed, blow it up again.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
with you.
He grew.
Jesus Christ, this fucking goddamn. I'm getting chased by a Lucio.
This one's for you.
How do I have both kills, man?
Yeah, I'm down here, bud.
Where the fuck is Frank?
Rise and shine. Oh, just
Alright,
leave
she's
this
down.
here.
Let's make a stand, please. Don't know what this shit.
Heal up here.
I don't know why. For some odd reason, I was like, Go for it.
This is the first time I saw this dead. Just fucking so.
Rise and shine. You'll love this one.
Yeah, now she's dead. That's what happens when you have no healers and the rest of the team is running shit.
do it the best I can. Somebody point her out. I'll take care of soldier.
I will watch over you.
Hey,
Rise and
Farrah,
shine.
about to be dead.
Oh, just
Yeah,
leave
thanks,
this
attack
here.
mercy. Hey, attack mercy.
Stop being this way before.
Yeah, no shit. Like, that's. Can't kill anything. Alright, I'm just going.
The checkpoint.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mercy went after Farrah, which I had no idea.
Mercy on call.
Yeah, like
I
she's
will
just-
protect the innocent.
She's you.
Now show them.
I am empowered.
Hey, no, you can attack Mercy. It happens sometimes.
Get back.
mistakes, so you can learn from them.
This is the ultimate worst of throwing. Wow.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gold with 12, but
Prepare
I
to
mean,
attack. Select your
jeez.
hero.
Well, we gotta get this thing all the way there, so. Hey, how about we just pirate ship and call it I'll switch off and give you a shield, and you be a scurvy pirate, okay, buddy? I should go with Ryan and have a little bit more mobility.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
We're the most whiniest team you ever played with. Oh, thank you. That is
Come
awesome,
on, come
dude.
on! I hate waiting!
They have a monkey, Eva, Lucia.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Alright, internet, we're gonna go out, you're gonna sit on top, we're gonna put down the shield, and you're gonna shoot everything that moves, okay?
For optimal chance of survival,
You're gonna
stay
redeem
in range of my
yourselves.
barriers.
Internet, where you going, buddy?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Escort your
I'm escorting the payload. Assistance requested. Commandeering the payload.
Use the heals if you can. Internet, where you at, dude? You up here with me? Anybody seen the internet? Come on, internet, where you at, buddy? You should be sitting on top of the payload. Somebody like, where you at? Sit on top of the Yo, internet, come on top of the payload. It's called a
I
pirate
am
ship.
moving with the payload.
Internet, come get on top of the payload. It's called a pirate ship. Pirate ship always works.
This is something we've heard this one before.
I'm not good at typing and shooting at the same time. I have my limitations. Oh, Bastion's on me.
Is this one?
If at first you don't succeed, blow it up again.
Dude,
This bomb's for you! No! Twilight, stop! If at first you don't succeed, blow it up again.
we're back to somebody else.
desired outcome.
Don't waste more. Don't waste.
Got a shield, man.
You lost this one.
The payload traces the inserted.
Team up for special attack.
Back for more.
Lucio coming at you.
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
You lost this one.
Never lost. I never got one.
Just
Takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
I'm on the payload and moving out.
Oh man, how the heck he catch me with that pen? Yeah, I went second heals to try to get some heals, but
If at first you don't succeed, blow it up again.
Why is the payload stopped? Everyone, get on it.
Seconds remaining.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. All touchdown.
we don't normally get
Oh no.
had to run. Sarah got me.
30 seconds remaining.
I don't tolerate defeat. Get on the attack now.
Dude, if I switch off the heals,
If at first you don't succeed, blow it up again.
help a little bit more, but our squad is
Ten seconds remaining.
I've got you in my sights.
You lost.
Moving with the payload.
justice reigns from above.
oh not
Defeat.
Internet, this is not LOL. This is all your fault, dude.
Quadruple.
get you, get you, get you, get you one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one day. One way or another, I'm gonna find. I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one day, maybe next week. I'm gonna meet you. I'll meet you. One way or another, I'm gonna find.
The United States is giving China a list of demands to avoid a potential trade war. The White House wants China to buy more U.S.-made semiconductors, lower tariffs on things like cars, and open its market to U.S. financial services. The talks are ongoing, and investors seem to be pleased with that. The Dow rallied 670 points Monday, its third biggest point gain in history, and it looks like that momentum is continuing here in the pre-market, where we have Dow futures up 90 points, the broader market also higher. Yahoo Finance's editor-in-chief Andy Serwer is joining me now with more. Good morning.
Hey, Alexis.
Wow, so what do you think the odds are that the U.S. is going to get what it's asking for from China?
I think they're moving the needle. And, you know, this could well be an instance where President Trump is...
The United States is giving China a list of demands to avoid a potential trade war. The White House wants China to buy more U.S.-made semiconductors, lower tariffs on things like cars, and open its market to U.S. financial services. The talks are ongoing, and investors seem to be pleased with that. The Dow rallied 670 points Monday, its third biggest point gain in history, and it looks like that momentum is continuing here in the pre-market, where we have Dow futures up 90 points, the broader market also higher. Yahoo Finance's editor-in-chief Andy Serwer is joining me now with more. Good morning.
Hey, Alexis.
Wow, so what do you think the odds are that the U.S. is going to get what it's asking for from China?
I think they're moving the needle. And, you know, this could well be an instance where President Trump is successful. I mean, at issue here is the $375 billion trade deficit with China. It's mostly in computers and electronics. We do run a trade surplus with China in terms of farm and agricultural products. It's not necessarily the case that we're going to reverse that deficit in computers and electronics, but maybe we make it up otherwise. And the real issue here is, Alexis, that China doesn't play fair. And President Trump is absolutely correct there.
What does China say it wants if it were to bend it all for the U.S.?
Well, China is saying now that the steel and aluminum tariffs are unfair, that we're talking about national interest, national security, where it's true that the Chinese, that our imported steel amount from China is only 3% of our total imported steel comes from China. So it's a bit of a red herring, but obviously President Trump is trying the carrot, trying the stick. The back channel is being the carrot, the tariffs being the stick. And, you know, I think that, you know, both economies are growing. There is room for both countries to thrive, obviously, the two biggest economies in the world. So, I mean, I think, you know, I agree with Steve Schwarzman, the CEO of Blackstone, where he talks about this being sort of a skirmish and it's all going to be worked out, but it could be a little bit tricky and difficult for certain businesses along the way.
Now, we know China surprised the world by hosting a North Korean delegation. Apparently, Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, left his home, which he rarely does, to go to China. Details, of course, under wraps. We don't know about that meeting. But should we be concerned that the North Korean leader is speaking to Beijing?
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's shrouded in mystery, Alexis, as you alluded to. It's not exactly clear that he was there. It might be a sister. No one confirmed it, neither the Chinese and, not surprisingly, North Koreans didn't either. Right. But it does look like he was there on a train and talking. And that's always a good thing to my mind, of course, unless they're colluding and getting together and to take over the world, which I don't think is happening. But they're looking to get their ducks in a row, Alexis. And, this has to do with security on the Korean Peninsula, nuclear weapons, etc., because Kim Jong-un is going to be talking to the South Koreans in April, and he is set to talk to the United States, including President Trump, in May. So the Chinese are asking the North Koreans, what are you looking to get here? And the Chinese are also telling the North Koreans, here's what we'd like to get out of this new dialogue. So kind of a positive.
And apparently a positive for the markets. Are you surprised that the markets are bouncing back the way they have been?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think we sort of hit this plateau, this high point in January and February. We're seeing a lot of nervousness. It was very easy for the market to come unwound in February, maybe surprisingly so, just because of interest rates and now the threats of tariffs and trade wars. Facebook unsettles the tech market. But, getting a leg up from here seems tough. But that's going to be the big question in the spring.
America first and the future of trade. President Trump makes his first trade deal with South Korea. As part of the deal, South Korea will stick to a quota of steel exports to the United States. In return, South Korea will be exempt from tariffs. This comes as the U.S. and the Chinese are negotiating. Joining me right now is Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross. Good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be on, Maria.
Yeah, so let's talk about the South Korea deal. Why was this important?
I think it was important for several reasons. The agriculture community had concerns that we might disrupt their relationships with South Korea. Other parts of the business community had other worries, and some people thought it meant that we might be forsaking them in a time of war. Well, none of that happened. None of that is true. The real key is it's a peaceful deal. It's a negotiated deal. It works for both sides. It accomplishes our purpose about reducing the steel and aluminum exports to us. 30% is a big reduction.
Yeah.
And it's about what we would have accomplished with the tariffs had the tariffs instead gone on.
So is this a template for what we should expect for other countries in terms of having this quota of products coming in?
Well, each country is in a little bit of a different situation. I think the real template is we're ending up with reasonable negotiated deals, not warfare. We're prepared to go and do as extreme an action as is needed, but hopefully people will be logical and we'll have negotiated deals.
And most people understood what you were doing with China because China is stealing our intellectual property and they are transferring technology from America to China, making it very difficult for American companies to really gain a true foothold in China. How long has the U.S. and China been negotiating in terms of getting better deals together?
Well, you could say forever, but for this administration,
in this most recent.
It's quite recent. And the importance of it is this. Things like steel, aluminum, and autos, that's today. Intellectual property rights, that's our future. So we need to deal with both. We need to protect today's businesses, and we need to deal with the future.
Yeah, in fact, we have a chart here from Mercator Institute, which shows what China is trying to do and highlighting, looking at growing its market share, surpassing the United States through innovation. Here's that chart. Whether it be new energy vehicles or high-tech ship components, new and renewable energy equipment, industrial robots, high